Welcome back, everybody. We're going to get started this week with our practice routines. I've got Bo with me to help me today, and we're going to go over some uphill and downhill shots, and also extreme uphill and downhill shots, and how to prepare for them. All right, so some of you have come to some of our workshops and we go over some of this in detail on some of our videos, but I've never touched on this information for the YouTube crowd. So we're gonna go ahead and go over some practice tips and basically technique on how to practice for uphill and downhill shots, and even extreme uphill and downhill shots, because well, right out the gate, Bo's got we use a release trainer, a right release. We use this a lot. I encourage you to pick something up like it, if not one of these. We do have them for sale on our website, but these release trainers are great to use. For example, if you can't get out and shooting your bow, weather's bad, quarantine, whatever it is, you can get prepared right here with this. So Bo's going to demonstrate being at full draw. And typically when people coach shooting up and downhill shots, they're telling you to bend at the waist. So Bo, go ahead and bend downhill for me. So once you bend downhill, or go ahead and reach uphill now, the release trainer gives you the ability to actually practice those up and downhill shots. Now, when you start getting into extreme uphill and downhill shots, now I'm talking about sheep hunting, mule deer hunting, on a cliff edge, and you're having to shoot downhill. The thing that you can do to integrate into bending at the hips is at times you're gonna either widen your base with your feet or make them more narrow, depending on if you're shooting uphill or downhill. But Bo, let's go ahead and work on downhill to start. So Bo's gonna go downhill, but in addition to bending at the waist, he's actually gonna take his hip and go towards the uphill side slightly. And what that does is it gives you a different basic starting point. So go ahead and start over for me, Bo. So you're at full draw, and if he takes his hips out slightly, uphill's to his right side now. So if he just pivots his hips 3-4 inches and now he bends, he's got more range of motion to shoot downhill. Same thing on an uphill shot. So in an uphill shot, as he's getting ready to draw, as he draws, if he takes his hips and goes in to the uphill side again slightly, now he's got more range of motion. Okay, so these easy tips you can practice with this release trainer and anywhere, right? In your basement, at home, you know, even if you're out in the field. And I encourage people to do this a lot, is as you're hunting, I take one of these with me hunting all the time. And before I go out for the day, I'll take 2 or 3 or 4 shots with my release, with the trainer. So that way the first shot that I take on an animal is not technically the first shot that I've executed for the day. So again, to recap on this first uphill and downhill shot video, it's more so than just bending at the waist. Right? It's more so than just bending at the waist to shoot. If you take your hips to the uphill side, you've just changed your basic starting point, and you can get more range of motion. So that's all we've got on this first shooting tip video for you. Again, practice these things with a release trainer when you can, because I promise you, finding a place to shoot extreme uphill shots, it's hard to do. So at least if you get some shots through the release trainer with those uphill shots, you can have a little bit more muscle memory when you get out in the field. So that's all we've got today on this clip. Stay tuned next week, where we take our starting point here, I should say, and we're going to actually evolve it into more of a practice routine. So thanks for watching.